Have you ever met someone incredibly smart? The person who always has the best ideas, the person who understands economics, business, investing, and human behavior better than almost everyone around them. Yet somehow they're still broke. Meanwhile, someone with average intelligence builds a business, invests consistently, and becomes financially free. Why, if intelligence creates wealth, shouldn't the smartest people always be the richest? Psychology says otherwise, and the answer may completely change how you think about money. Because wealth is rarely a test of intelligence, it's a test of behavior. And some psychological patterns quietly prevent millions of intelligent people from ever becoming rich. Let's explore them. The first pattern is what psychologists call the intelligence trap. Research published by psychologists has repeatedly shown that intelligence doesn't automatically lead to better decisions. In fact, highly intelligent people often become exceptionally good at rationalizing bad decisions. They can explain why they aren't saving. They can justify why they aren't investing. Their intelligence becomes a defense mechanism. Instead of using their mind to solve problems, they use it to protect their current behavior. The average person says, I should probably start investing. The intelligent person says, the current macroeconomic environment creates uncertainty, making it difficult to determine optimal asset allocation strategies. Both people did exactly the same thing. Nothing one simply sounded smarter. While avoiding action, knowledge feels productive. Action creates results, and many intelligent people become addicted to knowledge, not progress. The second pattern is perfectionism. This is one of the most destructive wealth killers in modern society. Perfectionism disguises itself as high standards, but psychologically, it is often fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of looking foolish. So the person waits, they wait for the perfect business idea, the perfect market conditions, the perfect investment opportunity, the perfect time to start. Months become years, years become decades. And while they are waiting, someone else is making mistakes, learning lessons, and building wealth. Perfectionism feels safe. But wealth rewards experimentation. The market doesn't pay people for being perfect, it pays people for execution. The third pattern is present bias. This is one of the most studied concepts in behavioral psychology. Our brains naturally prioritize immediate rewards over future rewards. A new phone today feels more exciting than financial freedom 10 years from now. A luxury purchase today feels more satisfying than long-term investment growth. The problem is that wealth is built almost entirely through delayed gratification. The rich version of you exists in the future, but your brain is designed to care about today, and every financial decision becomes a battle between your future self and your present self. For many people, the present self wins again and again until years disappear. Now let's talk about a psychological trend that has exploded in recent years. Social comparison. Psychologists have long known that humans compare themselves to others, but social media has amplified this tendency to unprecedented levels. Today, you're no longer comparing yourself to your neighbors. You're comparing yourself to millions of carefully edited lives. You see luxury cars, luxury vacations, expensive watches, perfect lifestyles. What you don't see is debt, stress, financial instability, or years of invisible work. Research increasingly shows that constant comparison is associated with lower financial satisfaction and poorer decision-making. People start buying things to impress strangers, not improve their lives. They chase status instead of assets, appearances instead of ownership, and the wealth-building process quietly collapses. This may be one of the most important psychological challenges of our generation, because the desire to look rich often prevents people from becoming rich. The fourth pattern is identity attachment. Most people think they make financial decisions logically. They don't. They make them emotionally, then use logic afterward to justify them. A person may identify as someone who enjoys life, someone who takes risks, someone who's not obsessed with money, someone who's different. These identities seem harmless, but identities create behavior, and behavior creates outcomes. If your identity conflicts with wealth-building habits, your mind will unconsciously sabotage progress, because humans naturally seek consistency between who they believe they are and what they do. The strongest financial change rarely starts with strategy. It starts with identity. The fifth pattern is the illusion of tomorrow. This is one of the most dangerous psychological biases. People assume they will become disciplined later, they'll save later, invest later, start the business later, learn the skill later, exercise later. Later becomes a psychological hiding place, a comfortable illusion. But tomorrow is not a decision, it's a hope. And wealth is rarely built on hope. It's built on repeated actions today, not someday. Now here's the surprising truth. The people who become wealthy are not necessarily the smartest. They're often the most consistent. They understand something psychology keeps proving again and again. Success is less about intensity and more about repetition. Small investments repeated for years. Small improvements repeated for years. Small actions repeated for years. The compound effect isn't just financial, it's psychological. Every disciplined action strengthens the identity of a disciplined person. Every investment strengthens the identity of an investor. Every difficult choice strengthens future self-control. The process builds itself one decision at a time. So why do some people never become rich? It's usually not because they lack intelligence. It's because they lose to invisible psychological forces: perfectionism, present bias, social comparison, identity conflicts, the illusion of tomorrow, and the intelligence trap. The good news: psychology isn't destiny. Once you recognize these patterns, you can challenge them, you can change them. And perhaps the most important realization is this: wealth is not primarily a knowledge problem, it's a behavioral problem. Most people already know what they should do: save, invest, learn, build, assist. The challenge is doing those things consistently when emotions tell you otherwise. And the people who master that challenge often achieve extraordinary results, not because they are smarter than everyone else, but because they understand themselves better. If you enjoyed this video and want more psychology-based insights on wealth, decision-making, trading, and human behavior, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if this video made you rethink your relationship with money, hit the like button. It helps more people discover this content. Tell me in the comments, which psychological trap do you think holds people back the most? Thanks for watching. And remember, your biggest financial obstacle may not be the market, it may be the mind you're bringing into it.